Picture this: London, 1888. The city is cloaked in a thick, grimy fog, and a deep-seated terror has taken hold of its people. In the labyrinthine streets of Whitechapel, a killer is on the loose, a phantom who stalks the night. He was never caught, his name echoing through history as a chilling whisper. But what if the answer to his identity has been hiding in plain sight all along? Let's travel back to that time. Whitechapel wasn't the London you see in postcards. It was a district overflowing with people, mired in poverty and filth. By day, it was chaotic. By night, an eerie silence would fall. But this silence was deceptive. It was a cloak for something truly monstrous. Between August and November of 1888, a series of brutal murders shocked the world. 5 women, all living on the margins of society, were killed in the dead of night, right here in Whitechapel. Their deaths were violent, precise, and utterly terrifying. The newspapers, hungry for a story, gave the killer a name that would become legendary: Jack the Ripper. Panic spread like wildfire. Who was this butcher? Where would he strike next? The police were overwhelmed, and the public was petrified. The mystery deepened when letters, allegedly from the killer himself, began arriving at police stations and news agencies. One, famously known as the From Hell letter, was sent with half a human kidney. Another was signed with that infamous name, Jack the Ripper. Were these genuine taunts from a maniac, or cruel hoaxes designed to spread more fear? The city didn't know what to believe. Over the years, a long list of suspects has been compiled, with theories ranging from the plausible to the outright bizarre. One of the most compelling was Aaron Kosminski, a Polish barber who lived right in the heart of Whitechapel. He worked with blades, had some anatomical knowledge, and tragically suffered from severe mental illness, experiencing auditory hallucinations and paranoia. He was eventually institutionalized, and high-ranking police officials quietly noted him as their strongest suspect. But they never had enough concrete evidence to charge him. Then there was Montague John Druitt. He was a barrister, a man from a completely different social class. His story takes a dark turn when his body was found in the River Thames just a few weeks after the last canonical murder. The timing was suspicious, to say the least. Some investigators at the time were convinced that his death marked the end of the Ripper-esque reign of terror, believing he took his own life out of guilt. But again, no definitive proof ever linked him to the crimes. The list of potential culprits goes on and on. Was it a local doctor using his medical expertise for sinister purposes? A disgruntled butcher, familiar with the anatomy of his grisly work? Some wilder theories even point a finger at a member of the royal family, suggesting a massive cover-up to protect the monarchy. Each theory has its dedicated group of believers, its own set of circumstantial clues, but they all share one common problem: a complete lack of hard evidence. Fast forward to the modern era, you'd think with DNA technology, we could finally solve this century-old puzzle, right? Well, it's not that simple. In recent years, a shoal claimed to have been found next to one of the victims. Catherine Eddowes was subjected to forensic analysis. The results were tantalizing. DNA extracted from the fabric seemed to point directly to Aaron Kosminski. The world held its breath. Was the case finally closed? Unfortunately, the celebration was premature. The shawl's origin is hotly debated, and the DNA evidence itself was degraded and possibly contaminated after being handled by so many people over 130 years. The scientific community remains divided, and the findings, while fascinating, are far from conclusive. The mystery endures. So why, after all this time, does Jack the Ripper remain a ghost? The simple truth is that time has been the killer's greatest ally. Critical evidence was lost or destroyed in an era before modern forensics. Witness statements were often contradictory and unreliable, colored by fear and the dim gaslight of the London streets. The police force of 1888, despite their best efforts, simply didn't have the tools we take for granted today. Jack the Ripper, whoever he was, managed to exploit the chaos of his time and simply vanish, melting back into the fog of history. He was never caught. His true identity may be a secret that is lost to us forever.